Welcome to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings, with me, Gretta Chamberlain, and the Realm of Beings. Shifting Impressions, which is one of the vehicles that supports the transmission of the Realm of Beings, is here to assist you in delving into your being by providing numerous topics and discussions for you to intake as you deepen your connection with your inner world. Shifting Impressions is here to assist you in strengthening yourself as you excavate to understand your true nature. Join us today and learn to shift your mindset, shift your thoughts, and shift your focus to recreate your life and produce a new you. Shifting Impressions starts now.
Good day to all of our listeners, old and new. Welcome to Shifting Impressions. My name is Kathleen Lee, the original. All others are imposters, and I'm here with the original Gretta Chamberlain, and of course, the Realm of Beings. No one can touch them. So we're going to high vibe today with a brand new quote that was channeled to Gretta via the Realm of Beings. And as you know, every week we try to enlighten our audience and to discuss and learn how we create our reality and how to create the reality that we want, and to walk away from the ones that we don't want, that don't bring us joy, peace, and ease, or prosperity, or what we want. So are you ready for the quote of the week, channeled directly from the Realm of Beings? It would be nice if I had it in front of me, Greta. So can you please read it? Because, I kind of left it in the other room. And that's probably why I left it, because that quote, when I was looking at that quote, I said, did I lose me?
Yeah, that's the title for today. You got that, Kathy. Did I lose me? So here's the quote. Are you ready?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. You have lessons that you have committed to experience and to learn from them. However, it is your choice to overcome the lesson or to, here's the really interesting part, or to succumb to it. All is your choice.
Your choice. It's your choice.
Absolutely. So the description of this whole discussion that we're having today is delve into the reality with love of self to change unwanted outcomes. So that's what we're talking about today. So that's why the title is Did I Lose Me?
Yeah, I'm like, wow. How do I find me is another a question that I'm hoping the realm will help us answer, because when I think about it, Greta, and I don't mean to cut you off or anything, but that's like the question that everyone has asked throughout the ages: who am I? And it just reminds me of that. Who am I? So if I know who I am, can I lose myself? And if I don't know who I am, do I lose myself? And can I find myself again? It's just like I'm like, oh my goodness, how do we discuss this?
Well, it's what is the finding? See, the realm teaches us that each of us, we're the force. Each of us is the force. So that's the finding. That is the finding. Now, most people don't believe that. They can't see that when we say you're the force. A lot of people ask me, they say, well, what is the force? I tell them, I said, the force is that which created what you conceptualize to be God. So the force is a different entity. It's the entity, it's the energy that created everything in existence. And see, some people don't understand, Kathy, when we talk about existence, what are we talking about here? We're talking about that the force is in continuous creation.
Creation.
Right. So
Just like we
therefore,
are. Just like we
right,
are.
Absolutely, absolutely. And see, and the thing is that the we're in this universe, but what universe is it? Is it number one? Is it number 500? Is it number 892,000? We don't know that. We just know that by being human, humans have created this whole concept of universe.
I might
Okay.
add even the limitation of the concept of universe. And it seems like we are masters at creating separation and limitations to who we are, which is why we always maybe see ourselves as being lost, not in the moment, not experiencing the knowingness that we are the force
Mhm.
and enjoying whatever choices that we're making. Because if we're stretching this out a little bit and really become, a little bit more existential when we think about our own existence, because I think what
Mhm.
you were going to say is existence. How do you even define that? Can anyone define? Can a human define that?
No, because we don't know what else is out there. We're set up. Notice the terms that I use, set up as humans. And humans have certain characteristics. Like humans are different from reptilian species. I'm talking about sentient species now. Humans are different from Pleiadians. They're different from hawthorns. And we can go down the list of what other species exist in this universe. But there are other species out there. They're like, for instance, the realm of beings. I was talking to somebody the other day about, they always ask me about the realm of beings. I said the realm of beings, they're energy sources, but they are also beings, but they're beings of pure thought. So they don't have physical bodies, but they are pure thought. That's their body, if you want to give them a body. So because and some people see the shadow people. The shadow people are the ones that
Those little black things that zip by.
yeah, yeah, but they're kind of grayish looking, kind of grayish looking. The black ones are another type of species. So there's so many different species here with us, existing with us. Some people are looking for the species to land, and they don't realize that they've been landed. That's not the correct English, but that'll emphasize.
There's nothing ancient about them. So you keep
No,
looking at ancient aliens, just look in the mirror, you'll see one, depending on how old you are. But it's I don't, it's I think that's why I think just listening to what you're saying and just stretching it out a little bit, it's like going back to the quote, how did I lose me? I think of just even for some people, this whole conversation that we're having about existence, and you're talking about different species of sentient beings. I think some people just cannot handle that, and they're not ready to handle that. I just feel that in my bones, and what would happen when they finally so-called do materialize for the rest of the planet? How will they handle that? Will they really lose themselves then? It's just another way of kind of stretching out a little bit, just looking at it.
well, see, I think I'm in agreement with you that some of the topics that we have on this podcast are really mind stretching, if I do say so myself. Um, but this one, did I lose me? Um, we've forgotten that we are the force. We've forgotten that everything that we see in front of us, everything that we're privy to in this reality, is the force. Like the painting behind you, is the force. You know, the bracelet that you have on your right arm, that's the force. You know, everything is the force because everything is energy. And we are energy. What we have as being human, we have various bodies. Like most people, they just think that we have a physical body and that's it. You know, they don't realize that we have, I'm at the count right now of 26, what people call subtle bodies. You know, we've come here with 26 other bodies. And then what do they look like? There's a body for every system that you have in your body. So that is present. So we're not aware of that. So we're really, Kathy, I feel that we're really not even, some of us will find it very challenging to really look into the depth of who we are and what we are.
Frightening. It's frightening for them. They can't even look into the neighbor walking across the street without fear in some places and in some people's minds. So if you can't even look at yourself. Some people can't even look in the mirror and tell themselves that they love themselves. So how can they look anywhere else? And
Right.
and we go back to the lessons that they have to learn. And you can succumb to them, and you're going to take them with you, and you're into your next transitional portal because there is no death. But they'll be sitting right there waiting for you. But how you choose to learn them, if you choose to learn them in that transitional portal, again, goes back to the quote. It's choice. How long do you want to remain lost is the question I think I want to ask the realm. And how long can people remain lost? Is there anything?
That's creation of reality, though, Kathy. People can remain, and maybe we might need, I think we defined what lost is. Lost, but I'd like to redefine it again. And lost is, I've forgotten that I'm the force. That's the lost that we are talking about
Okay,
today
that
on
clarifies it.
this
Yes,
podcast.
yeah, it clarifies it.
We're lost with, we don't remember that we are the force.
Okay,
You know,
that's
and that is what's setting up all of this. But that is such a difficult concept, like you said, because we've gone up, at least I know myself, going through Catholicism. And I can name some other religions that I've practiced: Santeria, Buddhism, Islam, Baha'ism. So that's 5 major religions right there. Well, Santeria is more Christian based, but science of mind, studying science of mind with Ernest Holmes, all of that. But that put me in a place of what the word that you used earlier was limitation. That placed me in a sense of limitation. I don't see my God. They give you the concept of God or Allah, Jehovah, whatever name you give it, you've given to that energy, those 3 energies, by the way, that you give it and you think the energy is outside of you, you see. So it's the outside. We've been taught to think outside. We haven't been taught to think inside. It's always outside
and
because
it separates us from. I just just a sense of separation, limitation for me. Um, I guess I've always felt I was more than just what you see here. And I don't really know how to express it and put it into words properly because, of
Mhm.
course, they're my limiting beliefs, but a lot of people don't understand my my philosophy, or I should say my cosmologically leanings towards not being involved in any type of organized religion. And, it's just that for me, there's no way in the world with you I could have done Baha'ism, all the other stuff that you did. It just has never appeared. I honest audience, I tried. I tried. I tried. I got put out a Bible study class. Let me call that stuff. I just cannot wrap my head around
They
being
put you
separate.
out of Bible study, Kathy. How did
Yeah,
you manage
yeah,
to get
yeah.
put
Well,
out of
you know what?
Bible?
Well, you know what? I was told that I was too intelligent, and I'm trying to think. Well, gee, that's really interesting. I mean, I've been called like over maybe too heavy, uh, too loud, but I've never been called too intelligent before. And I'm like, oh my gosh, well, well, thank you for letting me know. But I always ask a lot of questions, and I always thought differently than other people. I was never one to just go along. I tried to go along. Whenever I tried to go along, I lost me. When I
I
stand,
want to know how you got thrown out of Bible study.
oh, well, it's easy. I think I might have mentioned this before, but I asked them, I was getting my Lutheran stuff because my parents, one grandmother was Seventh-day Adventist, the other side was Baptist, so they sent us to Lutheran church so my parents could have 2 hours of alone time with 5 kids. So I asked the pastor if he was on trial for being a Christian, would there be enough evidence to convict him? And when he said yes, I kind of sort of may have called him a liar. And because of that, I was told I wasn't quite ready for catechism. And I was also told to shut my mouth, just sit there, even in a regular classroom, just shut your mouth and do what everybody else does. But if you tell me the slaves are happy because they're always singing, I want to ask, well, that landed me in the principal office. I'd like to own you for a day, see if you like it. And of course, that's called it was in a question form, but it was seen as being challenging.
Now,
And
I
so
want to know how old you were when you were thrown out of
I
Bible.
was I was about 12 years old. 11, 12. When did you get Catholic? When did you do? When did you Catholic? When did you get you get the little Bible? I had to read the Bible from cover to cover. And I'm like, I don't understand this. Why would you flood everybody? I never got right. Why would you be jealous if you're God? So when I would ask those questions, I was told, that's not faith. That's not what we're teaching here. We're teaching you the Bible. Okay, to me, it was a book. And I'm asking questions about a book. And it's like, that's what I knew. What I also knew when I was 5 years old, when they moved the little felt people across, the little Bible lady, felt people. And none of them looked like me. And I'm like, well, this must be somebody else's book or religion because people don't look like me. So am I the ones that they flooded? So that's where I went with all of that. And my parents tried to train me or teach me how to stay in not my place, but how to function within a society where if you're perceived as different, you're a threat. If you're perceived as too intelligent or rocking the boat, or you need to be within this system. Am I making sense?
Hmm.
And again, it goes back to the quote. How did I lose me? And whenever anyone tried to put those on me, I could never find myself and I wasn't happy. So therefore, I would respond by going into my bedroom, closing my door, living in books, and living in other things I didn't know I was doing, like remote viewing. And, I didn't know why I was different. My parents, I think they wanted to have me tested. And then I think they said, I think they had an IQ tested, and it was like something like 132 or something like whatever they were. It doesn't, there's no such thing as IQ number. And I remember crying, and my father said, "What the heck are you crying for?" I said, "Well, Michael's IQ was this, and Ricky's was that, and mine was 132." My father said, "You idiot. Average is about 100. Oh, and I still didn't understand what the heck he was talking about, Greta. But it's like, stop laughing. She's laughing at me, audience. I know you're driving the car. She's laughing. But I mean, and it's like, well, Daddy, I had to erase a couple of the things. I don't even remember when or how, or even if it even happened, or if I'm even creating it, because when did I lose me? And
Hmm.
when do I find me? And I am still finding me.
You are
And
by
that's what,
yourself.
okay, well, there you go. So I know I am a unique individual. I'm supposed to be, as are you, audience, as is Greta. But when you don't know who you are, you try to be somebody else that you're not. Like if like I can remember, oh, I want to be like Greta. Then I said, wait a minute, Greta's doing that. Greta's going up in space. Greta can move Darth Vader's spaceship. I don't know if I want to do all that. When I think about it, what Greta does is kind of dangerous. All that self-talk. And I go, you know what? I'm finally enjoying being who I am,
Mm. Hmm.
being me, and not caring about what anyone else thinks. Because when you that's how I know when well, because I'm no longer feeling lost as much as, because when you're growing up in this country with everything, just growing up period as a human, you can feel lost. And I think that's why they create these like churches, and to keep everybody all together. Oh, this one's getting lost. Oh no, we can't have a unique thinker. We got to bring her back in. And I've taken up this whole conversation. Audience, I look. Ah, okay.
And all I did was ask you, when were
Oh,
you thrown out of Bible study?
well, all I can tell you is I fit in with my crazy family, because like I said, when I was told I was too intelligent a couple of weeks ago, I was like, whoa, okay. I'm too intelligent and intimidating. My intelligence might intimidate people. And I'm like, huh, that's very interesting. Then I decided, now it depends on what my objectives were. So I don't need to get into what but I have decided I'm going to be who I am.
Yeah.
And I don't see my look. I am walking in confidence. I really, Greta, I am living my life like it's golden,
Oh.
lost or not. Okay.
Hmm. You know what, uh, I'm just in a constant state of finding myself.
That's what I'm
And,
talking about.
my daughter, I told her, I said, she's trying to make decisions, she's in her 30s, so she's making those 30 decisions.
Yeah.
And, and I tried to explain to her, I said, don't worry, it's okay. Because I don't know about anybody else, but I'm still finding me. I'm still finding and expanding how I think, you know, and the realm is, for God knows, is forever teaching me. So where I was in one spot is not where I am again. And then and Kathy, think about this. When everybody has a frequency, okay? Everybody. Everything has frequency. So that means that um, I can be at different frequencies and I'm calling different people to me, you know. So therefore, that's an experience as well.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
I've had, I talk about, some of the experiences I've had and some of the people I've met. Some people, um, you know, one of my things was when I was in Africa, homeless in Africa, and with my husband. And a friend, well, he became a friend of ours. He said, I'll put you up. I know where you can go to for 3 days while I talk to my other friend to see if she can rent you a room. And I mean, it was a small room, okay? But I wound up in a brothel.
Yeah, you
So,
told me that. Yeah, yeah.
so I mean, look at that. Look at that experience of winding up in a brothel and show you how naive I was. I kept seeing the women moving in and out of the rooms with different men, coming in and out, and I'm going, gee, what kind of place is this? It shows you how naive I was at what, 24 years old.
You're not by yourself. Because I stayed in the transient hotel too in New York and say, why are those vacuum cleaners going all night? What that same woman doing a different wig on? And I wasn't making the connections either. But go ahead.
So that's part of our journey. That's why I'm saying, I mean, look at what we learned from an experience like that. I mean, and then it was to learn acceptance of that these people or women and men had decided that this is what they wanted to do with their lives. So there we go back to choice.
That's right. And that's why I am looking now at a family member of mine that I love dearly, unconditionally, is deciding whether or not they want to make the choice to stay in this reality or move on into their transitional portal. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. And I don't know who's watching, but I'll tell you one thing. My sibling enjoyed every cocktail, every cigarette, everything that they did to get where they are now and on a respirator waiting to for us to decide how to proceed. And I'm not judging him. He has enjoyed his life doing what he wanted to do, making the choices. And
Mhm.
I am going to say that he found himself again and again, but maybe he's still looking for other parts of himself. I don't know. But I am not sitting in judgment of him, and he is not a failure in my eyes because he successfully created the life he wanted to live. And he is successfully creating how he chooses to leave this physical reality that we all share together. And I'm okay with that.
See, that's the thing, Kathy, and I know Emily is telling us it's time, but um, it's the thing is that um, it's choice, and when you put choice with unconditional love, then it's okay. It's okay that you decided to do those things for you because it was good for you.
For
You
you.
wanted to experience it. That was the lesson. That was the choice. You
There you
see.
go.
And if I say that he's lost, then I'm judging him. And who am I to judge anybody? The
That's
only
right.
person that I can really take care of in this world is
It's
right.
myself.
That's right.
It's me.
We can't take care of other people like that because even babies, see, people think they see babies. I know I've gone on a tangent now, but they see babies and they think that the baby can't think. They forget that the baby is a spirit of high consciousness, you see. That very baby, those little children that are running around, going mama, dad, you know, saying those appropriate curse words. I chose, like you, I chose not to, I chose to deviate from the mama, dad thing. I said something that people would, of course, and I've been saying the word ever since, you know, but it wasn't mama, dad. So with
And
that,
on
and
that
that's a
note,
journey into itself.
and we're going to journey right into this break, Greta, and we shall see you right after this break.
All right, Kathy.
Overflow your life with joy as you honor your magnificence. Overflow your life with joy as you honor your magnificence. Overflow your life with joy as you honor your magnificence. Overflow your life with joy as you honor your magnificence. Overflow your life with joy as you honor your magnificence. Overflow your life with joy as you honor your magnificence, your magnificence, your magnificence.
Yeah.
Overflow your life with joy as you honor your magnificence.
Well, welcome back. If we went a little bit out there, you never know what's going to happen on Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings with Kathleen Lee and Gretta Chamberlain. And right now, I do know that the realm is with us, so I don't even need to ask. Realm, I want to thank you for the quote that you gave us, and I'm going to let you expound upon that quote that you gave us. In fact, I'm going to read the quote that you gave us. Did I lose me? You have lessons that you have committed to experience and to learn from them. However, it is your choice to overcome the lesson or to succumb to it. All is your choice. Delve into the reality with love of self to change unwanted outcomes. But it doesn't tell you how many times you may have to transition to do it. Is it into infinity realm?
Well, see, I think you need, for some of members of our audience, we've been using the word transitional portal. We would like them to know that that is you dying, and some people would say going to heaven. Some people say we're going into the rapture. Some people will say that we're going into nirvana. Humans have created so many words to represent what we're calling now the transitional portal. But it's just a space that you go into, you create it. Like what most individuals don't realize is that you're in a transitional portal already and that you died. You just don't remember. And that's part of being human. And what part is that? That part is that when you see yourself operating here in this reality where you are privy to, because you created to be privy to it, um, you don't think of being anywhere else simultaneously. So humans' characteristics have been set up that you can only, most of you, focus on one reality at a time. And when you're creating all the other realities, you don't see yourself as creating all of these little realities as you just see that I'm at the grocery store now, or I'm sitting in front of my TV looking at Netflix with popcorn. You know, you just see yourself doing that. And that's what your attention is focused on. So you don't realize everything else that's going on. So that helps you to get lost, you see, because the adventure, see, this is an adventure, Kathleen. The adventure is to be found. That's the adventure.
By who though, Realm? Yourself or someone else?
By yourself.
Okay, just clarifying that.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified that because other people, nobody's everybody's trying to figure out the doggone thing for themselves, you know. And a lot of things, that we can talk about will seem so absurd to certain people, you know. Like to some people, just the fact that you create your own reality, acceptance of that it can be a trauma for some people.
It is a trauma. I can say that right now, Realm. I've had some traumas now on this journey of finding me. I think I need a GPS.
Oh, that
A
won't
track.
help.
Oh, we
That
do
won't
have
help.
trackers.
It won't help. It won't
Oh,
help. It won't
oh.
help. Because see, a GPS, you say, I want to get to this point. So the GPS is going to tell you what to do. It's going to tell you, go this way, turn left, whatever. Even chat, what is that? AI will tell you, go do this, go do it that way, you know. So, but what it's doing is it's eliminating you thinking and creating your own reality of choice in another vein. See, it's choice to let the AI do the thinking. It's choice to let the GPS guide you. So that's a creation of reality into itself.
It's a choice to let anybody tell you what to think instead of thinking
Absolutely.
for yourself.
Absolutely. But if you put somebody there to tell you how to think, you've created that. You see, anything that uh, occurs with you or happens to you, that is your responsibility. That is your commitment to the creation of reality in selfhood, what you're going to do. But as you stated earlier, and our presence here uh, in this reality, on this planet Earth, in this reality, I say it again, is that one, the guidance is being given for you to love yourselves, to love
Regardless of your
you before
choices.
you love anybody else.
Regardless of your choices.
Absolutely.
Stay in self-love.
That's important. I'm glad you brought that up, Kathleen. Absolutely correct. We don't want to beat up on ourselves for anything that we have ever experienced that we go and say, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. But it's okay. Because see, all of this, you know that story that humans have called the Wizard of Oz. They're
Yes.
off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
I always wanted to be the wizard.
That's wonderful because you are the wizard. Each one of everybody that's listening to this podcast is the wizard. Because where was Dorothy going with the straw man and the Tin Man and the lion? The lion had to go get a heart, So they followed this yellow brick road. So our life journey is like a yellow brick road. And you're going to find the wizard. Because the wizard then will tell you why you found all these things along the yellow brick road. It will, the wizard is there to really tell you, but in the story, it turned out the wizard wasn't who they thought that he was, you see. So when you get to that wizard, you look at it and you say, is this really me? I'm not sure. I know I feel that I've lost some people with that statement. Let me try again. It's the wizard is that which you perceive the wizard to be. That's what it's talking about. It's your perception of what the wizard is, who the wizard is, what strengths the wizard has. But in the case of life that you're in, and you're searching, I'm searching for who I am. I'm searching for what is my purpose. I'm searching for just about my life. What should I do tomorrow? Where should I live? Should I move across the earth to another place? Where should I go? You see. So you're going on the way to the wizard. Because some people say, God, help me. God, show me the way. But when you're found, you understand that you are the wizard, that you are God itself, and that you are your next door neighbor, and that you are that tree in the middle of a grassland, that you are the ant, that you are the orca whale. You see, that's when you're found. When you're found and you remember that you are the force and that you've been the force all along your life. You see, that's when you are found. You have found yourself. But in doing that finding, you first take love, then you move to unconditional love, and then you move to love of oneness, total love of oneness. You see no difference between you and your neighbor. And you're not going to have the fear of, quote unquote, being invaded by other species from other planets. Oh, we're being invaded. You know, if you understand you're the force, then you understand that you are one with that which is going to invade. So therefore, you don't have to worry about it because that individual is you, and you are that individual, you see. So there's no reason to continue. Well, let me stop. I don't mean that you're going to die when I say there's no reason to continue. What I'm saying is begin to see yourself one with everything that is in existence, regardless of how it appears. Because the force is all. The force is still that person that you cannot stand. You know, that person hurt me. Well, no, that's impossible. As the force, you cannot be hurt. As the force, you cannot be sick. As the force, you only love in oneness. You see, people are talking about unconditional love, but there's a love deeper than that, and that is the love of oneness. Even the color is different of the energy. So, how do you find yourself? You find yourself bit by bit. And the bit by bit is the more and more you want to love yourself so that you can move from unconditional love to love of oneness, which is much deeper than even unconditional love.
I know unconditional love is pink. Deeper is lavender. What color energy is deeper than that?
Lavender is not part of unconditional love. Unconditional love is pink, shades of pink. And when the deeper the pink becomes until it gets to be rose, then the bigger the energy, the higher the frequency of it. But everything, you can have low frequency, but you're still the force. It's just another expression of the force. You know, some people, a good example is people throughout this world various people believe in the devil. Well, that's your concept. But that, what you call the devil, is the force as well. Because the force is everything. There is nothing in this world that is not the force. You see.
How does one have conversations with people around that believe that? And you know, I guess for me, just trying to navigate that path. I mean, I respect their belief system, but a lot of times they have a challenge respecting or understanding my belief system because I'm working towards knowing that I am the force itself. And we talked about not being a member of organized religion. I'm not. So that's what I was wondering. How does one have a conversation or a relationship with people that just have such a totally different belief system from myself?
That is simple, Kathleen. You look at the person, they explain to you their belief system, and you accept them to believe that. That's very simple. By accepting the person to believe that, you are giving that person unconditional love. That's all that it is. If you accept where they are. If somebody's in jail and has murdered 13 people, you have the understanding that the 13 people created to be murdered, and that individual just supported them in that experience. You see, everything is an experience here. But you don't hate that man or woman or child even that did that. You just understand that the people that they assisted in making their transition, that was all they did. And that is okay for the person who did the supporting, and it's okay for the person who received the support. You begin to move yourself into a whole different way of thinking. Therefore, you're moving yourself out of condemning, criticizing, judging. Because, see, when you're into criticism and all those other things, judging and hating somebody because of that, then you're moving yourself out of being found. You're placing yourself in being more lost. Because, see, the journey is to understand you're the force.
But my question, Realm, was if I'm able to accept someone else's belief system, how do I convince them? I can't convince them to accept mine, so never mind.
Absolutely. And you don't worry about it.
Okay.
You don't worry about somebody accepting that they create their own reality. If they don't believe it, that's fine.
If they don't accept mine, then we're just not.
That's fine too.
That's fine too. Just keep on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Just keep
Well,
on.
I say there's a movement. See, we're in a movement of unconditionally loving each other. You see. So, and some people, some personalities, you must admit, give you a run for your money. You know, and then, you see, and just what I said just then is a judgment.
Mm-hmm.
You see. So the thing is to move without that. Just move without, just move into the pathway of isness. This is an isness. It is not evil. It is not good. It is not bad. It is not terrific. It just is. When you get to the isness of something, then you're really moving into love that is of oneness, because you just accept it. You accept it as this person created that reality, this person created that reality. That was all choice. It's all choice.
All choice. It's all choice. And
that's all we do here.
That's all we do. So, Realm, I'm going to ask you to bring Greta back, because speaking of choice, we know that our audience will choose or make the choice to join us next week, while we continue to support you in learning how to create the reality that you truly want to experience and deserve, because you love yourself unconditionally. And we're asking you to like, share, and subscribe to Shifting Impressions, Transformation Talk Network and radio, and just spread the good word about the lively conversations that we have every week with you. And we'll plant you now and dig you later.
Once again, thanks for joining us at Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings on TransformationTalkRadio.com. As you have explored today's creation of reality experience with the realm and me, Greta, each of you is being supported by us in further developing the understanding that you are not just an individual existing in linear time and space, but a multi-dimensional force of infinite possibilities who is connected to all. So begin to create the realities you want Join us every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Shifting Impressions at transformationtalkradio.com. So long until we create each other again next Friday.